Update 1 on Tropical Storm Kiko, currently with winds of 70 miles per hour and a pressure of 993 millibars, moving towards the north slowly at the moment in the eastern Pacific. It's pretty much at its peak at this time at 21.3 degrees north, 115.6 degrees west, and it's expected to move towards the north, weakening along the way and eventually becoming a post-tropical storm, or a remnant low as the case may be. Sea surface temperatures at the moment fairly warm where the storm is at this time, around 27 to 28 degrees Celsius at the moment, but that will really cool off as time goes on as it moves towards the north into less favourable waters. Probability percentages of tropical storm conditions in the next 96 hours are fairly low at this time along the Baja California Peninsula. It's just a little bit too far away for any tropical storm conditions to really occur on any land areas. So intensity comparisons, this is what all the models are saying right now for the system. Most of them say that it's reached its peak, one or two still saying it will reach category 1 hurricane intensity, but most of them say it will go on a weakening trend now, and the storm is expected to move towards the north. This is the track forecast. You can see a little bit of uncertainty as to where exactly it will go. You see a few squiggles here and there. The red line there you can see going all the way towards the northwest, the blue line having it stalling and then turning towards the southwest, and then the green line towards the east. So this is the shear comparisons, the wind shear, which is generally around 10 to 20 knots, which is fairly moderate and will probably interfere with development. And sea surface temperatures, as you can see here, dropping very quickly as time goes on to around 24 degrees Celsius, maybe even lower than that, depending on how far north it goes before turning. And the relative humidity, that's generally going to be falling as well. More dry air getting a little bit closer to the storm and could intrude and cause some difficulties for any storm development, and obviously weaken it more quickly. This is the latest satellite imagery. You can see how the storm's been progressing. Fairly slow movement, as you can see, towards the north. You can see in that north eastern corner the tip of Baja California Sur almost, but the storm's moving towards the north, displaced a little bit towards the east of the centre of the storm, so that's obviously going to mean there will be some rainfall over on the Mexican coastline. So we'll probably see some heavy rain there, probably nothing too serious because the storm's still quite a bit out at sea. Most of the heavy rain, the intense core of the storm is well out at sea. But as time goes on, it will probably begin to weaken. No eye forming by the looks of things, or at least not that much of a defined one. And then it will probably deteriorate and fall apart as time goes on as it becomes a remnant low. So looking at the world tropics at the moment, the current situation, September the 1st, as of 4 PM UTC, Kiko there in the eastern Pacific, 97L in the Atlantic near the Leeward Islands, the Lesser Antilles, 96L near the Cape Verde Islands as well, 92S down in the South Indian Ocean, 15W, a new tropical depression near Taiwan, and 94W in the western Pacific. We also have Tropical Storm U2, which has been designated a tropical storm by the Japanese Meteorological Agency, and we also have the two systems as well at either sides of the Pacific, 15W and Kiko. 15W will probably become a tropical storm out there in the western Pacific as well, something for Japan to watch. So this is the current situation. Tropical storms this year so far, 13 in 2013. That puts us 40th in the table for the eastern Pacific. 7 hurricanes and no major hurricanes as of yet. It looks fairly unlikely now that Kiko will become the 8th, but you never know. It might pull off a little bit of a last-ditch attempt to strengthen into a hurricane. It may pull that off, you never know. But weakening is on the cards now for Kiko as time goes on, and will probably remain no threat to land over the next few days. You can track this storm and indeed any other storms at the website force13.com/stormtracking.html. They are presented with the main storm tracking page where you can see all the current storms out there, including invests and post-tropical storms. And you can also find us elsewhere on the web, Facebook and Twitter, Force13's on both of those. Just search us, you should find us fairly easily enough. And please do show your support by doing the usual means of engagement, which I won't go into. I'm sure you know all of them by now. The next update on this storm will probably come tomorrow, Monday the 2nd of September, with an update on Tropical Storm Kiko, the other storm, 15W, the depression in the western Pacific, later on this evening. But until then, that's all for now.